Hey friends, so it is 15 minutes until the start of the next set of matches. Groups C and D. Well, it's D first actually, which is kind of weird. But so this sees Australia versus Denmark and Tunisia versus France played simultaneously. I am going to watch the Australia versus Denmark match. And I'm hoping for Denmark win, but I wouldn't be upset if Australia got the win either. I've really enjoyed watching them play so far. So in the other match, I'm anticipating a France win. So I have a lot to do today. For one thing, I have all of the matches that I still didn't watch, and so I'll have 3 soccer vlogs to edit, and I have 8 games to watch. I have the yarn for the cuffs, so I will be casting those on, but I might be starting with the snow globes because there is a challenge that ends today that I forgot. Well, I didn't even realize it was there until yesterday, and I think it ends on like the Eastern time zone, so it'll end with plenty of time still, and that'll give me time to do these. So that's my plan. I am going to quickly run downstairs and I think get a piece of pie, pumpkin pie for breakfast, and a drink. Hopefully wake myself up a bit. My husband came to bed late and he was super chatty, and so I did not get very much sleep. He was talking to the dogs even. I mean, it wasn't even me he was talking to. He was like, "Oh, you're so cute. Oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, you want to play?" But he's going into the office today, so hopefully I'll be able to get more stuff done. So yeah, that's where things stand at the moment. I am going to get the game on, go get the piece of pumpkin pie, and I'm gonna see what we can get done during this first match. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye. You guys, I have no clue why soccer makes me so emotional, but it really does. At the end of this game of Australia versus Denmark, I was literally tearing up. So I went in thinking I was going to be cheering on Denmark because I just thought I was. And Australia put on such a performance that, you know what, at the end, I felt myself just drawn to them. And you know, they won, and now they are through to the knockout stages. This is only the second time in their World Cup history they have ever made it to the knockout stages. Also, they have never won 2 group stage matches before. Incredible. And I don't think that they have ever had 2 shutouts where they didn't let the other team score before. So just incredible. And then there was just the images of the excitement of the players. And there was one player that they have that that had torn his ACL shortly before the tournament, but the coach put him on the coaching staff or something, I don't know, because he was there with his crutches, and he was clearly such a huge part of the team and their excitement. They formed up a ring and he was in the center of it with the coach, and it was just so beautiful. I can't believe it. I mean, Denmark, bottom of the table with only 1 point. It's just so crazy. Hey, no. Anyways, yeah, good match. If you can watch it, then do it. Hey, you guys, knock it off. Oh my gosh, they're just playing. And even if you can't, find the last 10 minutes where they're celebrating their win. It's so good. So yeah, I only wanted to do a short, I should tell you what happened. The first half, both teams played really well, but Denmark had to win this game, so they came out fighting. At the 60th minute, Leckie scored for Australia. What's kind of interesting here is that they displayed a picture of the player that was clearly not the player, because the picture they displayed as Matthew Leckie was someone of a different race. So it's like clearly not the same person. So that was a little mess up on the technical side that probably should have been cleared up. But Leckie scored in the 60th minute for Australia. It was a beautiful goal. It was passed to him while he was still on their side of the field, and then he dribbled it all the way down, and he did some fancy footwork, and it was just a beautiful, beautiful goal. So, yeah, try to see if you can find that. And then, so Australia are now through. So, I am so super excited. I'm going to flip over to the France versus Tunisia match. France already know that they are through, so they don't need to win. And so they've made, I believe, 9 changes to their starting lineup. So, yeah, that's kind of crazy and ridiculous. I managed to get just over 100 stitches on my piece. I didn't stitch at all in the last, like, 15 minutes. I was 20 minutes even. I was so nervous. But there is the start of the top of the snow globe, and I'm really happy with it. So yeah, I will be working on this till about 9 p.m. tonight, because that's when the one challenge ends. And then after that, I will switch to the cuffs, and hopefully that won't take very long to do. And then, yeah, I need to go to bed early because I'm planning on getting up early so I can start the Vlogmas vlog before the World Cup goes, because, yeah, I'm still planning on making separate videos. So that's all I have to say. I will come back later. For now, we're going to switch to France versus Tunisia. So, be back soon. Okay, I just finished watching the match. There was a lot of drama at the end, and it went, like, seriously 14 minutes extra time because of some drama. So, they're singing the national anthems for the next match already. So, let me just quickly recap. France made 9 changes to their lineup. So basically they were trying to just rest their main players. They already know that they're going through, so they apparently weren't concerned. 7.5 minutes, a goal was ruled offsides for Tunisia. And it went into halftime 0-0. 57 minutes in, Khazari scores for Tunisia, making it 1-0, and he was like immediately subbed off. They think that the sub was already planned, but I'm sure he'll always remember scoring a goal against France. In the 98th minute, so this is 8 minutes into added time, Antoine Griezmann scored for France, and then that pesky VAR, after they thought the game was over, ruled the goal as offsides. So it was canceled, and Tunisia ended up beating France, which I didn't predict. It didn't change the outcome of the group. France goes forward in first place, and Australia in second place. They both had 6 points, but France had the better goal differential. So the next set of matches right now that are about to start will determine who they play against. So France will play the runner-up of this group, and Australia will play the winner. As it stands right now, Poland are at the top of that group. So this is a group that anyone can go through still. The Poland only has 4 points. Argentina and Saudi Arabia have 3 each, and Mexico has 1. Mexico has yet to score a goal, so that is concerning for them. I will be watching Poland versus Argentina. And I am rooting for Poland. yeah, I would love to see a Poland win. I'd love to see Poland be able to advance forward. They might be able to advance with a draw if Mexico beats Saudi Arabia. So, I am predicting Mexico to win that match, although it might end in a draw. So, yeah, it's about to kick off. They've just switched back to the game, so I'm going to end this here, and I will come back with another update. I didn't I didn't stitch at all during the last match. I went downstairs and I did dishes while it was on my playing on my iPad. So I will hope to stitch some more on this. And the match has just started, so I will come back later with a better recap. Oh man, that game was high stress, like high stress. It was crazy. Argentina beat Poland 2-0. It could have been a lot higher up. It could have been like, it could have been real bad. They basically bossed the whole game. The Polish goalkeeper, Szczęsny, no, there might not be any ends in there. Anyway, he was having like goal game of his life. He made 9 saves in the first half. He came close to breaking a World Cup record for the most saves in a World Cup match. He just made save after save. It could have been really, really bad. We're talking about like a 7-0 type of situation. And in the other match, which I haven't watched yet, Mexico was up 2-0 at some point, and it came down to like the number of yellow cards that had been given. Like the goal differential was the same, the number of goals scored was the same, and it was coming down to which country had received the most yellows. Then things changed. Saudi Arabia scored a goal, and that changed the goal differential. But it was high stress. Like, we're talking about the Argentina-Poland match ending, and the players in that stadium were watching to see what happened in the last, 5 minutes of the Mexico game, because they didn't know if they were going to make it through. So, and it was in that extra time that that Saudi Arabia scored. So I'm still going to watch that match. So I'm not going to talk about the goals. For one thing, I don't even know about the 2 goals that Mexico did score because I didn't see them because I wasn't watching that game. So in Poland versus Argentina, at the 37th minute, a penalty was awarded to Argentina via VAR, VAR. So Messi goes to take it, and it was saved by the Polish goalkeeper in an amazing save. It was seriously, well done. Oh my gosh. In the first half alone, that Polish goalkeeper had 9 saves. It was a wild match. Again, recommend watching it. Less than 1 minute into the second half, Alexis McAllister, which that sounds like a Scottish name. But anyways, I know a lot of people from Europe immigrated to Argentina, but still, I was not expecting that last name. Anyways, he scored for Argentina, making it 0-1. Came right out the gate and scored. In the 66th minute, Alvarez, I missed his first name, scored for Argentina, making it 0-2. And they didn't let the gas up, their foot off the gas. And I think that the commentator said that makes 3 teams who lost their first match and then still managed to proceed to the knockout round, which is not... They're being so wild. yeah, it's not in the statistics that way. Normally it's normally 84% of the teams who win their first match lose, and 11% who lose their first match are eliminated. And statistically, I think we've already passed that. So there's hope for Germany. And yeah, I mean, Argentina lost that first match to Saudi Arabia, and they ended up topping this group. So, wow, that was a noise. Anyways, so I am going to watch that the Mexico match, and then I will do a final summary. And then I need to go back and watch those other matches. So lots to do still. I've passed the 200 mark on this one. I'm really liking it. You can see the ears over here. It's smaller than I thought it would be. I was expecting it to be much wider. Yeah, I've about gone as wide as it goes. So it's much smaller than I expected. I wonder if I could have stitched it like this and gotten 2 on the same one, and then I would have had extra. I don't know. Well, I'll maybe calculate that and figure out, and maybe I will still end up being able to have 1 extra. But, yeah, so I'm going to do that. I actually have a chicken pot pie in the oven that's going to come out in 10 minutes. So probably going to work on a little bit of editing and then come back and watch that match so that I'm almost done editing yesterday's game, but I still haven't watched the day before that's games. So I need to do that and then get like 3 videos posted. So yeah, enough rambling because I have to edit through this. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Wow, what a game. Okay, so I'm glad I watched it, because before going into it, I kind of thought that Mexico had just dominated the whole thing, and they were predominantly dominant. But I think that Saudi Arabia put up quite a fight, and they did a lot better than I thought, given the scoreline. The first half I felt was pretty even, and Saudi Arabia's goalkeeper played mainly well. He had a couple questionable moments, but mainly he did really well. So, well done to Saudi Arabia. They did, in the tournament in general, a lot better than I thought that they were going to do. So, there have been a lot of surprising teams this year, and that's always really awesome. So, I'll recap the game, go over the standings, who's playing who in the next round so far, and then talk about tomorrow's matches. I'm going to try to keep it short and simple because it's 4 o'clock and I've got 4 more games to watch. So, I don't know if I can do it, but we'll see. Okay. In the 36th minute, Saudi Arabia had a player that was subbed out due to injury. That's always really sad to see. But yeah, that happened. In this match again, sorry, it's not until I start talking that I start yawning. Anyways, again, went to halftime 0-0. There have been so many matches that have gone to halftime 0-0. They come back, and in the 47th minute, Martin scores for Mexico. I think this is pretty interesting because, so this goal was in the 47th minute, and the other game happening at the same time, they scored in the 46th minute, which was basically both goals were scored almost right away from coming back from halftime. And I think that's really interesting. So how sometimes games can mirror each other. In the 52nd minute, Luis Chavez scored from, his goal was beautiful. They're saying a contender for one of the best of the tournament. And I don't think it was the best. There's another one that I thought was really good, and I can't remember off the top of my head, but this one was really beautiful. It was from a set piece, and it managed to like go over the wall and dip down into the goal, and it was a really awesome piece. And also, this was his first ever international goal for Mexico, which is really cool that he scored it, you know, at the World Cup. I mean, it helped Mexico win this game. Unfortunately for Mexico, they didn't move on. I was hoping Poland would move on because I hope for the best for Robert Lewandowski. And also, I've been really, really impressed with their goalkeeper, Poland's goalkeeper. And so, I think he deserves to move on. They don't deserve to win the tournament because they're not scoring like they need to. But, you know, I think that those two players, it would be nice for them to be in the round of 16. So I'm glad they made it. In the 55th minute, there was a Mexican goal called offsides. In the 86th minute, there was another Mexican goal called offsides. So they were trying and just coming up against like a brick wall. The whole second half, it felt like they were on the verge of scoring again and just never came. And then in the 5 minutes into the stoppage time, Aldo was sorry. I could have gotten that wrong. I didn't have enough time to write it down as it was flashing across the screen. He scored for Saudi Arabia, and that basically ended the hopes of Mexico. If they scored one more, they would have topped Poland. So I guess it didn't really change anything. It's just you could tell that they were a bit more demoralized. So even before Saudi Arabia scored that goal, Mexico still always needed one more goal. So it's just, again, like they were demoralized and they were like, fate is against us almost. So that is how the game ended. This group has Argentina going through with 6 points. Then Poland and Mexico both had 4 points. Fortunately, this did come down to a goal differential on who moves forward, because I think it's kind of not fair if it comes down to things like who had the most reds and yellows cards. I mean, it was Mexican by landslide. But, I mean, you could have a match where the referee just lets everything go and no one gets showed cards even when they deserve it. Or you could have a match where a referee is a little card happy, and I've seen those matches. And so, I mean, I don't really know. Okay, so it goes goal differential, then who scored the most goals. I don't know what other tiebreaker to take it to after that, but I mean, it just seems slightly unfair. Anyways, so then Saudi Arabia was the bottom of the group with 3 points. So every team in this group won at least one game. That's really kind of interesting, because that's not the case. Like Denmark didn't win a single match, and that was Group D. Qatar didn't win a match. That was Group A. Wales didn't win a match. That's Group B. So, yeah. That takes us to who's playing who in the round of 16. So today sees us with Argentina is going to play against Australia. Argentina really finally woke up today. I mean, there was obvious signs that they had woken up in their previous match, but they were for sure alive and well today. And so as much as I would hope for Australia, because I've really enjoyed watching them, I think Argentina is going to win this match. And the other matchup we'll see is France versus Poland. And unfortunately, Poland just isn't scoring. And if you're not scoring, you're not going to win. And France is pretty much on fire. Even though they lost their game today, I mean, they kept the scoreline down playing with a B team. I mean, where you had swapped out the majority of your club. And it was clear, not club, lineup. It was clear the coach was pretty unhappy with the fact that they were losing. So I'm sure they're going to get a firm talking to. But so, yeah, that's how things are standing. There's still 4 more matches to determine, which brings us to the next set of matches, which are tomorrow. At 7 a.m., we have the Group F matches, and that is Croatia versus Belgium and Canada versus Morocco. I will be watching Croatia versus Belgium because I think that Belgium has been underperforming. They're ranked 2 in the world, I believe, 2 or 4. France is in the other position, so I know that I'm pretty sure it's either Argentina or Brazil. I think it's Brazil, Belgium, Argentina, France. And so those 2 could be swapped either way, but that's the top 4 countries. And Belgium has been extremely underwhelming. So I think that there is a chance for Croatia that they could win this match. And if so, they would move on. They have a +3 goal differential right now, Croatia, and that is the best in this group. So I'm going to be pulling for Croatia. I'd love to see them go through. And then in the other match, Canada versus Morocco. Morocco has been playing well. They also have 4 points. They have only scored 2 goals, though. The thing that's helped them is they have not conceded any goals. I am hoping that Canada, who has already been eliminated, just comes out and plays a good match, and maybe they can take a win. Just because I'd love that for Alphonso Davies. I think he's a world-class player who... I mean, I just like that for him. Yesterday, or this morning, I found his YouTube channel, and he's only posted a few videos, but they're so funny. So he lives in like a normal looking house, right? And one of the first things he shows is he's got these bags and bags of bottles that he needs to turn in for that extra money, right? Because you're on a Bayern Munich salary, but you need the extra money from cans and bottles. Which there's no hate on turning in cans and bottles. We collect our bottles and turn them in. We'll go every like few months and we'll get back like $20 to $30, and then we put that money always aside, and we're saving that for our next TV. So I mean, there's simple ways that you can maximize savings. You just collect the bottles you would put in the recycling bin and instead take it to the recycling center and get your money back. Anyways, so that's cool that he does that. And then he had like minimal type of furniture and stuff. And then he takes you to his pride and joy room, which is a closet that is like the size of a room, not for clothes, for shoes. He had so many shoes. It was crazy. And so I was reading up a little bit about him, and it turns out that he was born in Liberia. I believe it was Liberia. It's either Liberia or Ghana, but I think it's Liberia. And he was actually a refugee, and they moved to Canada, I think when he was 5. And so I think there are 6 children in his family. But yeah, and so at like 19, he was signed with Bayern Munich, and I think he's 22 now. Anyways, yeah, he seems like a really decent person, and so I hope for him that he and the Canadians can finally get a win that they've deserved, because they've deserved it in they deserved it in the Belgium versus Canada match for sure. The Croatia match ended 4-1, and that's a little depressing. But yeah, so I will be watching Croatia versus Belgium and pulling for Croatia. And then I'm hoping Canada wins. But that won't affect anything. They're still eliminated. Then at 11 is when things get nervy because it's Japan versus Spain and Costa Rica versus Germany. I will, of course, be watching Germany, and Germany have to win. I mean, it's not just we need to win. It's we have to win. It probably needs to be by a sizable margin because right now our goal differential is a -1. And we only have 1 point. So we have to win. There's no questions or ifs, ands, or buts or whatever. And I don't think Spain will be resting on their laurels. I was trying to figure out if Spain could try to rest because there is the possibility that if Japan wins and Costa Rica wins, that would see both Spain and Germany eliminated in the group stages because both Japan and Costa Rica have 3 points. So Spain still need to win their game. So I'm hoping that will result in I didn't think I would ever come to a place where I am hoping for a Spain win because Spain are like my #1 soccer enemies. So I never thought I'd come to a point where I'm like, let's go Spain, pull out that win. But I am hoping for that. And if they could actually humiliate Japan and make them lose by 1 billion, that would also be good because that would also affect the goal differential. Although I don't think the goal differential is going to come in effect with Germany because if we tie, we only get 1 point and that only gives us 2 and that doesn't matter. If we win, that gives us 4 and the only time that will matter in the goal differential is Spain also have 4. So I am hoping and predicting a Spain and Germany win. I will be watching Costa Rica versus Germany and paying attention to what's happening in Japan versus Spain. So we will see, but everything will be decided tomorrow. I'm going to wrap that up now. This is 15 minutes, and that's longer than I had wanted. I need to pull my needle through so I can say it. I finished the blue on this side of the snow globe, so now I'm going to come back through and finish there. I still have 4.5 hours. Yeah, 4.5 hours until the stitching time is done for that one challenge, so I'm hoping to finish a bit more. I hope to finish all the blue on that side. I haven't decided then if I'm going to come down and do the rest of that or if I'm going to start filling in. We'll see what I'm in the mood for. But yeah, that's all I've got. I am going to start trying to catch up on the matches I missed. I may try to get these last 2 days uploaded and then just have the other one be late. We will see. So I will actually be back in just a couple of seconds to do the intro for the first match, but yeah, this has been a pretty good productive day, so I will talk to you guys later.